some new songs off that for you. Those of you who have heard the record, you probably know that it doesn't have a lot of this on it. There's not a lot of guitar on the record. It's more of a, how do you say, computerized, programmed record. It's made on a laptop, as they say. So as close as I could come to making a sound you might actually find on the record itself, with the tools that I have here tonight, would be probably to unplug my guitar and put my tongue on the end of the cable there. That's a sound you might actually hear on my record. And I'm not going to do that to my poor sound guy back there. Mike's doing such a good job. So here's a song I'm going to try to just reinterpret here for you. I think I can play about half the record. So far, I've worked out. Here we go, about half the record. So I'm going to play some of the songs off the new record for you. This is a song that I wrote for a despicable man named Fred Phelps. And if you don't know who Fred Phelps is, then please do me a favor, do yourself a favor, don't go and look him up, don't Google him, don't try to find out, because he's a despicable man. He and his church, where are they, in Kansas somewhere? They're just up to no good, friends. And so you probably heard about him on CNN. He and his people are the ones that, apparently they have found that their gifts in the world tend to center mostly around picketing. They are tremendous picketers. And, Fred's church is mostly made up of his family, apparently. And they're all lawyers, so they're real smart. They know what they're doing, unfortunately. And they're best known for picketing funerals of soldiers and any gay person of notoriety. They will picket. They're pretty hardcore about that sort of thing. So here's a song I wrote. I was just trying to imagine if I was ever faced with Fred, what would I want to say to Fred? And I'll tell you the truth, friends, that just was not a very good song. It was not a very good song. You think there was a lot of cursing on the new record? Imagine with that song on it. It would have been much worse. So I tried to, being as spiritual guy as I am, I tried to imagine, transcend that a little bit. I tried to think, Fred calls himself a pastor. That he calls his organization there a church. So I'm thinking, fair enough. What would Jesus say if ever faced with Fred Phelps? Now, I can't predict whether or not that's going to happen. I can't tell a man's heart from anybody else's. But if he was, what would Jesus have to say to a guy like Fred Phelps? And I wrote this next song. And I thought it might make it, all things considered, just that much more interesting to go ahead and write it as a 50s doo-wop love song. So here it is. It's the only thing funny about this next song. Freddie, please, how can you do this to me? How can you tell me you love me when you hate me, Freddie, please? Honey, but I'll bleed you dry with money. I'll talk where I know you can hear. 'Cause Freddie, can't you see, brother, you're the one who's queer. Freddie, please, how can you do this to me? How can you tell me you love me when you hate me, Freddie, please? Oh, the stone's been rolled away, but you